Hey, Flo here with another insulation building stream, DIY, whatever you want to call it. Kind of hoping this will be the last one in this series. I don't have a ton to do, but I am getting a very late start today, so I don't know if I'll finish. But that would be nice if I did, because it's been going for a while now. I'd like to get it done. I have infinite stuff to do in general as far as the overall shop projects and all that, but I'm just hoping to get the installation done today. But it's not really going to be finished because there's a few things that are left to do, and even in the insulating arena, such as I need to do the roof, which is arguably the most important thing to insulate, but I don't have the installation for that yet, and I might not live stream that. My dad might visit in a few days, and if he does, there's a chance we might do that together, and if we do that, I probably won't live stream it. So all I have left to do today is the second wall in the loft, just like the previous stream. Okay, I'm out in the shop trying to get around things here. It's kind of tight, and I'll get set up here in just a second, or maybe a few minutes. So I haven't been streaming in a few days. I don't know why necessarily, just whatever. Kind of in a bit of a funk, I guess. Nothing major, but wasn't feeling up to it. All right, I need to find a good place for the camera to be. I can change the scene now, though, because I'm actually out here. I don't think the insulation helps much with soundproofing, honestly. Like, I think it's supposed to, kind of, but in this case, it doesn't seem to be helping that much. But I also haven't finished the insulation entirely. So maybe when I'm done and it has sheetrock on it, it will kind of help. I don't know. Don't know. Probably not really. Very thin walls and whatever. I could have gotten mineral wool insulation, which is supposedly better for sound insulating and other reasons. I think it's better in general for most reasons, but it's more expensive and whatever. Actually, let me see if it's better angle up here. Just a second. This might be better. It's kind of far away, but I don't know. Nobody's really going to be watching these streams to try to learn how to insulate something, I don't think. It's more about just, well, I don't even know what people watch this for. I don't think they watched my streams. If they do, I don't know why. But I like to do it anyway. Not really looking for an audience, just enjoy the process of live streaming for whatever reason. Okay. All right, gloves right there. What else do I need? Bunch of tools which are down here. Just grab that stuff. Shoot, I need it. I actually don't even know what I'm doing in general, but especially like those vents, that vent on the side of the shed, I framed it in for the last one, and I guess I'll do that again, just because that's what I did, but I don't know anything about it. I'm just doing what seems to make sense to me. So that means I need to cut a couple boards, which hopefully, I think I have one more 2x4 remaining to cut up. If not, then I don't know what to do. Okay, good. Take that downstairs because I'll have to cut it downstairs. Plus it's in the way. Try to do that part first to get the noisiest stuff out of the way. Part of the reason I have a limited time constraint, as everybody knows who's been watching, is just because I don't like to make massive noise at night. I wish this thing was totally soundproof, then I could just go all night, but I don't think there is any such thing as totally soundproof. Unless you're inside a bunker underground or something. So I'm having trouble with my lights. I was trying to fix them, and I'll have to probably take it apart and resolder it or something. It doesn't seem to be working. It's on, but it's supposed to be like the lights are supposed to be moving and changing. Might get a actual white light up here, because even though I like kind of the colored look, I need a little bit brighter light to be able to see what I'm doing properly. that's all the tools that I need. Okay, so first things first. Oh, well, I'll get that light first, actually. Find it. I found my cordless drill finally, so if I want to use that today, I can.
Milestone 6. Welcome back.
A milestone. Alright, I think this is pretty much everything. It's never everything. I always find something else that I'm like, oh, I need that too. Let's try to set the light up over here somewhere. This board is annoying. It's good enough for now. Well, it always takes so long to get ready for these work sessions. Partly because I'm trying to live stream them, actually primarily for that reason. Stupid gloves. Okay. Okay, that's good. What else do I need to do? Guess just cut the board, so I need to measure the length. I mean, whatever the space is. I think these little bits are tall enough for the sides. Oh, there they are. Be careful not to get caught on these cords and pull those over the side. Almost certain to fall. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Where did I put the tape measure? Okay. Just under 14 and a half. And this one is just under 14 and a half. It's like a 16th. So I need four pieces that size. And then I'll figure out the height when I get back. So I don't know if I'll take that camera out there. I could, I guess. Except I don't have a thing for the battery. I mean, I do right here, but it's not on the right tripod. Actually be better to have the camera on that tripod over there where the light is, but I mean not have the camera be over there, but use that tripod for the camera. This one's a little bit unstable, but I'll make it work. Lots of wildfires going on all over the place, so it's been really smoky, but today it's actually very nice. It's just it's because it rained, it kind of cleared up the air. Okay, so let's cut these. Wearing these same pants for all of these, well, not all of the projects, but for quite a while, so they're very dirty, as you can see. Let's see, what? That's everything. Just need my eye protection.
Milestone. Good day to you.
Good day to you also. Okay. Now let me get my ear protection. It's very loud. I think this blade on this saw is getting pretty dull, so it seems to cut louder. And I need my needle nose pliers. Okay, 14.5 inches, just a little bit less. Trying to get it as close as I can. It's nice to have a tape. Makes it easier to put together. Go check that. Make sure it fits. Then I'll cut the others. Basically perfect, but cut another one the same length and then two that are just a hair shorter. Do this the easy way. I was thinking about maybe working on the stairs today, but I really want to get this insulation done, like just feel it. Get that burden lifted, whatever. Or feel accomplished, whatever the thing is. There's two of those. Cut two more, just a hair shorter. It's a little aggressive. I didn't mean to cut it that. I was looking at the wrong line, but hopefully this will still work. Yeah, it'll work. It's just a little bit loose. I'll do the last one a little bit longer. Right, this is my last 2x4. I need to buy a bunch more at some point. I have a bunch more projects that require 2x4s. Basically, all of these projects I've been doing over the last couple months have been composed mostly 2x4s. Right. Probably won't come back out to cut the little pieces. I'll bring the camera back and forth a million times. Just wanted to show that a little bit, I guess. You guys are so clumsy with these gloves on. Drop things all the time. Okay. I'll just leave that door open. It feels kind of good. It's nice and cool today. Nice break from the heat. I think the heat might be done for the year. Like it'll still be, you know, relatively warm and nice, but I think all the stupid hot days are probably over. Guess I need the screws. I forgot to grab those. Not sure where they are. No clue. Actually, I might have taken them inside. I was installing curtains or something like that. I think I might have left them inside, so let me go see if I can find them. They're down here somewhere. Pretty sure I took them inside. All right, I'll be right back. Yeah, I could be happy in this temperature. It's very nice. What happened to some of my clamps? There's one in particular that I like to use, and it's often in a weird place. Everything's in a weird place right now because I'm rearranging. Oh, I found it. I think this will make it easier to get these in place. Okay, let's sort these by length. Should have 2 longer ones and 2 shorter ones. Sort of.
Shield.
Might not have trimmed that one super well. I might have to go cut a tiny piece off of it. I think it'll work though. Perfect. I should try to get this one level, more level. And actually the clamp should help with that if I can do it right. That last one was pretty awful on the other side. Let's see, what can I use to make sure it's level? I have an actual level downstairs, but just thinking if I have a square. I have a speed square. I don't know if I can use this properly. Probably. Okay, so let's just get this clamp down. Problem with clamping it is the clamp gets in the way of the drill, but I just realized I can make it below, and as long as I'm putting enough pressure, it should squeeze it together anyway. Okay. This isn't really the right kind of square for this particular measuring job here. Close. Close enough. So I need to pre-drill holes. I can actually use my cordless drill this time. That was so annoying to use that corded drill last time. I just couldn't find this thing, so didn't really have a choice. Once you use a cordless drill, it is almost impossible to be satisfied going back with the corded one. The cord is never long enough to reach where you want, and then you have this giant heavy cord with an extension cable hanging down, and it's just trip over it. Can't get the angle you want because you're pulling on the cords like, ah! It's the worst experience on earth. Well, maybe not quite, but it's pretty bad. All right, I think I'm actually going to do 2 screws in this one. I should have done it that way on the other one too, but wow, it's insane. There must be a knot in there. Completely burning it. Okay, I had a Phillips screwdriver bit somewhere. No idea where it went. That's what I had dropped earlier when I said can't. Oh, there it is. Glove clumsiness. All right. The reason I only put 1 screw on the other side is because it's kind of temporary. This whole framing that I'm doing for these vents is temporary because I eventually want to put a window in here somewhere. And so I'll have to remove all this when I do that. But I may as well still use 2 screws. There's no reason not to. How loud this thing is.
Raspberry is there and nice. Hello again.
Hey, Raspberry. Alright.
Raspberry is there and nice. Can I ask you something?
What's up? You just asked me something, so I guess you can. Alright, let's get this other side in. Whoa.
Is there and nice. Why does my pond keep going orange?
Grab chat. Can't really see it from here. Whoa. Oh, I have no idea. I'm actually not a Mr. Fix-It kind of guy. I'm just learning things as I go. It's not something I've researched. I've never had a pond. Sounds like there's some kind of algae in it, but I don't know much about that stuff, honestly. There's probably certain chemical treatments you can use. I don't know if it's a natural pond or a man-made pond with a pump in it, but I would guess there's probably...
Raspberry is there and nice. Oh, I am sorry.
I'm guessing there's probably certain treatments you can do. I don't know much about it. That's one of those things that Google's good for. Just ask that exact question in Google, you'll probably get a pretty good answer. Of course, if I knew the answer, I would certainly help, but it's not something I happen to know. Okay, so it's good.
Raspberry is there and nice. May I ask something you might not want to hear?
I suppose. But why would you want to do that? Okay, let's see.
Raspberry is there and nice. If I am being rude.
I don't know. I have no idea what you want to ask, so it's up to you. Use your own judgment. Because I don't know what you're thinking.
Raspberry is there and nice. Okay, I want.
All right. Fair enough. Okay. So let's measure these. I'll just go down and cut them without moving the camera. It's too much trouble. About there. Whatever that measurement is, I don't really need to measure it. I'll just cut both of these that same length and I'll be right back.
Raspberry is there and nice. Can I ask you something though?
Yep, you can ask me. You don't need to ask. Permission to ask. But if you think you're going to ask questions that are could be upsetting or something, like just think to yourself, why would I want to do that? That would be my advice. Why would I want to upset someone for no reason? And if you don't think it's upsetting, then well, you're free to ask, of course. Kind of common sense stuff, you know what I mean? All right. This other side, if I match it on here, I'm not going to be able to put screws from this side because this one's here, obviously. So I'll just put angled screws, which I do not like doing, but sometimes it's the best way to do it. Actually, let's use the shortest ones that we have here, which would be these two.
Raspberry is Sarah nice. No, they weren't upsetting to you.
Oh, I see. Well, I don't know. I don't know what you want to ask, so it's up to you. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to cut these. Oh. I think that's all the cutting I have to do, so I'll just blow that off a bit and put it inside. Oh. That should be it for down there. Ooh. There we go. Let's see. Those are ready. Let's get the other parts
Raspberry is
placed.
Sarah nice. Can we see your face and how do I stop my toilet leaking?
Here's my face. I don't know. It could be a number of things. I'm actually not a plumber either. Usually inside if you take the top off the tank, there's like that floating thing that looks like what do you call it? Like a small balloon, a rubber balloon. And it's attached to a rod and then has a chain on it. You may have to like screw that balloon either in or out to make it float higher or lower, kind of a thing, because there's sort of this perfect balance of where the water levels off. I mean, it's stuff that I've done before, but I'm not really a plumber, and it's kind of hard to describe, but there's probably a bunch of YouTube videos about that stuff, though. It'd be helpful for you. Maybe like search for adjusting a toilet so it doesn't leak or something like that. Imagine not all toilets are identical, but there's kind of a standard, at least in the United States. Most of them are similar. I don't see my other two boards. Where did I put them? That's weird. Oh, right.
Raspberry is Sarah nice. I keep going outside removing the game and the poop comes out.
Removing the game. I'm not sure what that means. Okay. You have are you like on a sewer system?
Nice. Cap.
Moving the cap.
Raspberry is Sarah nice. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm not actually a plumber, but that's kind of weird. Sounds like a weird scenario. Let's see, this one goes on this side. So Honestly, though, I would encourage everybody to learn something new if you're able to do it physically. Just like search online. There's nothing wrong with asking people. Like,
I don't know what to do, so phone a plumber.
There's nothing wrong with asking me or anybody else, but I'm not an expert, so I don't think I would be much help in that particular scenario. Sounds like you might be on some kind of septic system, though, rather than a sewer, because I don't know how you would have access to where you would see the poop coming out. Normally, you wouldn't, unless you're talking about an RV or a trailer or something like that. Okay, let's see. But I think it's fun to learn stuff, like search online and look for answers.
No, I am English. That's illegal, I think.
I'm English. Oh, from the UK. I didn't know that. Or maybe you told me and I forgot. I don't know. Oh shoot, this is gonna work better if I have it up high, but I'm just gonna leave it where I have it.
I enjoy watching you. Sorry if I am annoying.
Oh, you're not annoying. No worries. Just trying to make good conversation and maybe help yourself out with some questions. Understandable. Unfortunately, I'm not really an expert. I might come across that way to people that haven't been watching my stream very long, but I definitely am not an expert in it. I've learned a bunch of random things over the years, but I'm not like an expert in any particular discipline as far as like, construction or anything. You guys might have a whole different system over in the UK, though, if you're over there. I don't know much about how they do things. Yeah, I have a septic system here, so I'm not attached to like a city sewer because I'm out in a rural area. Oh, this sucks. I need to be more full of this. It needs to go up higher because it's sticking out, and the sheetrock, if I put sheetrock on this, is not going to secure to the wall. So we need to have a higher situation here. It's just annoying, but it's fine. Okay, so that means I need to cut whole new boards, which I don't know if I have any pieces like that. Here's one. Perfect.
Raspberry, is there nice? Is it okay to ask you 3 things?
Sure. You don't have to walk on eggshells around here. You're fine. Okay, let's put this up here. Let's just assume that I'll have to cut the other side the same, so let's make it about the same. Let's see if I can find a scrap.
Flow suffers from monotone voice. It's terminal.
Yes, I do. Like the old Garfield cartoons, a little bit like Bob Ross, somewhere in there. Somewhere in that realm of reality. Or what's that guy's name on Ben Stein. Ben Stein, old Garfield cartoons, and Bob Ross. I haven't figured out the exact equation of the mixture, maybe 30% this guy, 29% that guy. It's pretty random, but okay, need to find one more board about this length that I can cut. Be right back. Hey, CJ. Whoa.
Hello, Flo. hobbies.
Who, me or ZJ? If I have any cute hobbies? I don't know what you mean by cute. What do you mean by cute? Like creative, I guess, like I do bookbinding as an example, and other kind of arts and crafts type things, but I don't know if I'd call them cute hobbies, but I guess you could. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see. I don't see any scraps.
Link. It's directed at you, Flo. Raspberry is nice. Something interesting.
Yeah, I have a lot of hobbies actually. I'm kind of the guy that has to limit myself. Otherwise, I'll have every hobby known to mankind because I enjoy just doing creative things in general. So I see a new hobby and I'm like, oh, I should do that. But lately I've been trying to limit that so that I don't have too many things that I do. So I've sort of narrowed down my focus of hobbies. But I still have quite a few. No, I don't read. I mean, I can read, obviously. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say obviously, but I don't enjoy reading, so no, I don't do much. I read the Bible on my streams, but that's pretty much I just read the Bible. I don't read other books that much because I don't enjoy reading. But as far as the Bible goes, I need to do it for my own spiritual well-being. But every other kind of reading is kind of a chore to me, so I don't do it. Okay, I need to go find another scrap. Be right back. No, I'll cut these. Thought I was done cutting, then I realized I cut them the wrong way.
Can I tell you my last guidebook you might like?
Ooh. Last guidebook? Well, I probably won't like it because I don't read. I don't like reading, but I might like the idea of it. Or I watch movies and stuff, but I don't really read. And even the movies, I don't watch that much anymore. But yeah, no, you don't need to ask permission for everything you say. You can just
Raspberry is nice.
Oh,
okay.
I prefer not to use that scrap that I had that I was cutting from. If I can find another little piece to cut out of instead. I think I should have some over by the wood pile, but they might not be new or fresh. I'm going to go over there anyway because it'd be nice to find it.
Raspberry is nice. It's called Everything I Want to Do is Illegal. Raspberry
Sounds
is
funny.
nice. Quote.
Sounds like a comedy. Sounds like a good title for a movie. But I don't know what it's about, but it sounds like sort of a guy that gets wrapped up into accidentally and somehow finds out everything he's doing is illegal, but maybe not on purpose. But I actually don't know what it's about, so I'm just imagining what it could be about. Oh, I think I found a perfect scrap to use. Actually, a few here.
Raspberry is nice. It's about agriculture in the USA.
Oh, very interesting. I guess it could maybe, instead of a comedy, with that new information, I'd say it sounds more like it'd be made into a documentary because of all the stupid rules there are in the United States about farming. Once again, speculating, but okay, I thought
Raspberry is nice. Tragedy.
It's a tragedy, huh? All right, so now I lost track of where I put that mark on this board, so I'm gonna have to go back up and make a new mark. No idea, but I found some scraps. Hopefully they're all. Well, actually, I only need 2 of them. Hopefully 2 of them are long enough to cut down. Yeah, I don't really watch stuff that much anymore. Even I don't do any streaming services like Disney or Netflix or Peacock or any of that stuff. Don't have any of those. Amazon Prime, none of that. So I don't watch shows. I used to like watching movies, but I don't really even do that much anymore. I'd rather be productive, I guess.
In the UK, I can't sell my produce. It upsets me because homegrown is best.
Yeah, that's so stupid. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's obvious that the governments are. This is not even conspiracy; it's fact. The governments have signed deals with large companies so that they can profit off of deals with the government, and so they're limiting what individuals can do so that they can sell all the products themselves. It should be illegal what they're doing, and I hope eventually they get prosecuted for what they're doing. They always say it's something about safety, public safety. Has nothing to do with that. It's all about money. Of course, it upsets me, but I'm not a farmer myself, so I'm not like directly affected by it. But I hate it, of course. Can't stand that. Governments are becoming totalitarian, authoritarian. They're destroying all the freedoms that we fought for to create a democracy. Because of greed, they are ruining society. But I don't really know what to do about it. Okay, so I have one more cut to make. Need a big ol' change, like a revolution in our societies before it's too late. And I don't know if that's going to happen. Unfortunately, all those people need to be taken out of power that are corrupt and using it for their own financial gain. The girl from my local community, we just traded for other thingies. That's cool, yeah. Honestly, some rules are meant to be broken. I'll just leave it at that and I'll let you use your own imagination. It's unconstitutional. So you don't have to follow those rules. Okay, so here we go. I don't know about the Constitution in UK though. I also don't know about the laws. So I'm not into legal stuff.
But if I make money off it, I will get charged. Raspberry is very nice. Skeptical smiley face.
For taxes and stuff, I guess that's just something you have to figure out for yourself. It's understandable. I try to do everything right. Like I'm not a lawbreaker or anything like that, but certain things that I feel like don't make any sense at all. Okay. Seems to go down.
Raspberry is very nice, but I didn't want to participate.
I can't get that one
Raspberry
typed.
Serenite. You chose that.
Chose that? I don't know what you're referring to. Okay, here we go. This, oh shoot, maybe I should. No, I think I'm okay. I was gonna say maybe I should put that middle piece in first, but I'll just work it. Right. Probably won't get the installation done today after all because I forgot about some of these first steps I have to do.
I mean, we're young. We didn't buy into your system.
Oh, well, I didn't create the system. Trust me, I'm very conservative, so I voted against the system, but unfortunately there's too many brainwashed people that think the system is what they need. I don't want big government. I want as small a government as possible.
I know I like you.
I'm probably the most conservative person you'll ever meet, including everybody on DLive and Rumble and Odyssey. It's a bold claim, but there's a lot of fake conservatives going around these days. I'm the real deal. I don't boast very often, but that's simply fact. I'm just stating fact. Okay. Not to say that conservatism is the best thing.
What do you want?
Like, I'm not religious about politics. I'm religious about God, and I don't think he is conforming to any of our human ideas. Far above all that. But I find that conservatism is considerably closer to what I consider to be fair and good. Liberalism is destroying the world.
Raspberry Serenite.
I just want freedom. Just freedom and simple life. I don't want anything fancy.
Very nice. I am a hypocrite, I think.
I think we all are, and it's okay. I think it's good to realize our own limitations. We can't live up to our own idealism sometimes, you know, and that's okay. None of us are perfect in any way. I'm certainly not at all. So when you realize something like that about yourself, it just gives you an opportunity to reassess where you're at and decide, do I want to change anything, or am I at peace with it? You know, like, it's just kind of a decision you have to make in your own heart.
Very nice. Well, may I be honest with you if you answer a question?
Well, sure. Okay. So get this in place. But yeah, I'm also a hypocrite. I don't practice everything that I preach because I'm not capable. We're all weak, broken human beings that have to give each other grace because none of us can live a perfect life or do everything right or do everything that even we ourselves believe in. We try the best we can, but we all fail in some way or another. And it's where grace, understanding, forgiveness, mercy all that stuff comes in. Patience. Okay. Yeah, this will probably be a kind of a short stream, and all I'm probably going to do is this framing. I mean, we'll see, but it's getting kind of late already. I don't know how much of the insulation I'll be able to do. So at the beginning of the stream, I thought, well, maybe this will be the last insulation stream, but I kind of knew when I wrote that or said that it's like, well, that's my hope, kind of thinking positively, but I sort of know from experience that things don't always go according to plan, rarely do, in fact, and so I'll probably have to do another project day. Let's see, how am I going to do that top thing? I think I'll just put one angled screw in it. It's not that crucial. Not structural or anything like that. Yeah, I don't consider myself a role model, so even the things that I think are important, I don't think that I'm 100% right. I think that's important to be able to be teachable, to learn new things, to be challenged, you know, that kind of stuff. Otherwise, get set in our ways, and there's no way for us to get unstuck, you know. That's why I said when I first talked to you, and I've said it many times on my stream,
nice. Can I ask something private?
I don't consider myself a role model or source of wisdom for others. You know, I try to help people when I can, but I think each person kind of has to figure out their own life and situation. Now, again, I might not answer the question, but feel free to ask, mainly because when you're doing stuff online, there's certain things that are just not wise to talk about, you know what I mean? Okay, there we go. Let's see how straight that is. Needs to go down on this side. Up just a that's probably good. And I don't need to use the clamp because it's very tight already. I'll just put an angled screw here because I can't really reach.
Raspberry is very nice. Can I ask privately?
I don't really do that. I don't really have a way to do that. I'm kind of just a live streamer, you know. Encourage you not to think too. It's better to find people in person that you've kind of, you know, had time to get to know and trust. You can meet face to face. There's just something, you know, I think that's valuable to that.
Raspberry is very nice. Oh, okay, sorry.
No worries, no need to apologize. Some people have Discord where they like have the ability to connect with people privately, but I don't really do that myself. Okay, let's see. I don't have a Discord set up for my channel or anything. I may do that someday, but I don't really intend to. Just sometimes I, change my plans later on or something. Not really trying to be a public figure or someone of importance. Not trying to be an influencer or a
Raspberry is very nice. I'm a dad.
famous person. Am I a dad? No, I am not. So yeah, regarding certain things, like my advice is find, let's just say, not everyone who's old is wise or worthy of asking questions. So you probably see me as an old person, so like, oh, he probably is wise and knows all the things. But that's not true for me, and it's actually not true for a lot of people. So what you got to do is, get to know someone over a long period of time to know if they're worthy of your trust and whether it feels like they have, good answers and all that kind of stuff. I recommend pastors and counselors personally.
Raspberry is very nice. Oh, do you want to be?
And so it's good to find those kind of people in your life, have a mentor or a counselor, or often parents are good. Parents and aunts and uncles can be a good resource for those kinds of things. Yeah. But I don't recommend just asking random people online for
Raspberry
advice.
is very nice. Oh, I think you're nice.
Because you never know what they might say or whose best interest they might have in mind. Well, thanks. I try to be nice, but I don't think I'm particularly wise or experienced. Kind of a goofball that... Oh, the other thing I was going to say, look for people that are experienced in a particular area. Like, for example, you were asking me about relationships the last time you were here. I don't have experience in relationships, so that disqualifies me from being a good person to ask. Look for somebody who has a respected, long relationship. Find somebody that's been married 20, 30, 40 years, and you've watched for a while and you respect them and you like how they treat their partner, that kind of stuff. That's the kind of person that you should find to ask. And then if you have interest in parenting, not saying that you do, but just as an example, find somebody that has good, healthy, strong family with lots of experience. All that kind of stuff. It's just good to ask people who are actually qualified. Okay. This is annoying. This one's cut too short, so it's not tight.
Raspberry is very nice. I don't have many friends, and my uncles, etc., are not nice people.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. That's unfortunate. Yeah, not everybody
Raspberry is
blessed with a
very
great
nice.
family.
Okay, I am sorry.
Oh, no worries. No need to apologize. Honestly, I wish I could be wiser, but you know yourself and your limitations, like you're saying, like when you said you feel like a hypocrite, that might or might not be true. There might be elements of truth to that you can learn from and try to improve. But you might also be condemning yourself, unnecessarily. Somewhere in the balance is probably the truth, and you just have to find that. Try to, improve yourself, but don't condemn yourself. But I know myself well enough to know that I'm not really a good source of wisdom. I just don't have a lot of experience that I feel makes me a leader or a counselor. Of course, I wish I could. I wish I could help people in that way, but I just don't feel qualified. And because of that, because I care about people, I want to make sure to not present myself as more than I am and lead people in a wrong direction, you know what I mean? What I do have is knowledge of God and his ways, and I'm ever learning more because that's what's most important to me. So if people ask me about that, I'll probably be more likely to respond. Shoot. But even in that area, I'm no expert. I'm still learning myself, and I will be.
Raspberry, good. You are for me.
Good. Well, thanks. I mean, I'll just be honest with you, try to enjoy the content. If you do, if you don't, then I don't know why you'd be watching, but take it easy. And then every once in a while, if you have a question, I'll just be honest, and I will be the first to say, I have no idea. I don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask. And then that'll be it, But if I feel like I have something to share, then I'll share, but I don't want to pretend like I know everything because I certainly don't.
Raspberry is very nice. May I ask you about that? I am agnostic.
Sure. Anything you'd like to ask? And just don't be offended if we don't agree, I mean, that's up to you. You can maybe be offended, but I try not to be offensive. But, yeah, I'm no expert either. I just find that important person. I would not be alive without him. And so, when something's really important to you that you care about, you want to share with others and hope that they find the same. But not everybody has the same beliefs. I believe that agnostics would say that truth can't really be fully known. I would disagree with that. God is truth. Can he be fully known? No, but he can be known to the degree that he reveals himself, and he has chosen to reveal himself by sending his son, Jesus Christ.
Raspberry is very nice. What makes you believe?
What makes me believe is God. It actually says in the Bible that you can't achieve faith or perfection or any of that stuff by your own abilities. Things of the Spirit cannot be known by the flesh. And so really what it takes is God himself has to seek you and reach you. It says in Romans that there is none who seeks God, none who does good. And so it is God himself who reaches out to mankind, and he does that primarily these days in two general methods. Well, he does it by his Holy Spirit. God has a Holy Spirit who is all throughout the earth, everywhere at once. And he loves everyone that he's created. He's constantly seeking all people because he loves everyone, but not everybody responds to him. But he's the one that initiates conversation, so to speak. You just have to be open to him and seek him back. It says that we love God because he first loved us. And just have to be humble ourselves to the possibility. Just seek him. Say, okay, God, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't have all this figured out. I would like to know what you're all about. Would you come near to me? Would you show me what you're like? Teach me about you.
Nice. I have one complaint.
Those kind of things. Just one? Only one complaint? Wow, I've got way more than that. I'm just kind of being silly, but it's true. I don't even have close to half a life figured out. Not even close. All right, there we go. A lot of people are turned away from God because they see evil in the world, and they think that how could there be a good God if there's so much evil in the world? And I understand that.
Sarah, nice. Why does God love church priests and normal people?
That's completely false. God does not love church priests more than ordinary people. Not sure where you got that idea, but it's simply not true. If you search throughout the entire Bible, which I don't know if you do, but I'd recommend reading the Bible before coming to conclusions. Because otherwise, how do you know if they're the right conclusions? But you read the entire Bible, I guarantee there's no verse in there that says God loves priests more than ordinary people. It's not in there. In fact, he disciplines his priests with far more accountability because they have a great responsibility to present God to the people. And if they're misrepresenting him, they will receive horrible judgments from the Lord because they're misrepresenting him.
From church.
Are you sure? Are you sure that's
nice? I used to go.
Are you sure that was actually said, or do you think you just came to that conclusion? Do you remember somebody actually saying those words? That God loves priests more than ordinary people? Or do you think you maybe came to that conclusion somehow?
Nice. Then I had a bad priest.
So I will tell you this, I am not Catholic, and I do not agree with many things in the Catholic Church. And if you were at a church that had priests, it was probably Catholic. I wouldn't tell people not to go to a Catholic church because each person has to figure out, their own spirituality. But my own conclusions would be not in favor of going to a Catholic church. But that doesn't mean that all Catholic churches are somehow bad or wrong. I'm just telling you where my conclusions are.
Hello, may I say something in regards to this topic? I agree with you, by the way.
Yes, of course. Of course. Shoot. Oh no. My drill bit broke inside of there, so that means I need to drill another hole, because that's just
God wants everyone to have a personal relationship with him. Having middlemen gets in the way of that.
100% agree. The Bible says that there is one.
May I ask your religion?
There is one mediator between God and man, and that is Jesus Christ. We don't need priests. Priests are actually not even biblical anymore. The only role of a priest that has continued from the Old Testament is every single believer who follows Jesus Christ is a kingdom of priests. I think it's either 1st or 2nd Peter 2:9. We are a chosen generation, holy people.
Nice. I'm sorry if I am being rude.
We are priests, but we do not need a church to go between us and God. Jesus Christ is the only person who is between us and God.
People put themselves in power, make themselves be the gatekeepers.
He forms the link, and all we have to do is accept him in our lives. And we have direct access to God. And that was proven that when he died on the cross, the curtain of the temple that separated the Holy of Holies from the rest of the people, only the high priest could enter there at a certain time of year and perform certain ceremonies. He tore that down the middle, providing direct access for all people through him.
Raspberries, you are totally okay here, smiley face.
That's why he says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except by me. So yeah, you'll have to figure that out by yourself, but if you read scripture, it does not support the ideas of Catholicism.
Thank you for the questions.
But yeah, you're not being rude. You're totally fine. And I don't care if people don't agree. I'm just sharing what I've come to believe. I don't think all Catholic churches are that way, though. I think there's some good, humble priests that are more like just like a pastor or a leader. They're not trying to, to be the go-between necessarily. So I don't think we can universally condemn all of that just because we've seen some corruption, because every church has corruption, because we're all human and none of us is perfect. We're all trying to do our best, and sometimes we just come to the wrong conclusions or we just make mistakes. And that's what Christ came for, is to make a way for imperfect humans to be reconciled with God. And he paid the price.
I am sorry, I don't believe anything.
By his own blood. That's okay. It's okay. You don't need to apologize. Sharing what I believe, and don't have to agree. Let's see, where did I put that? I didn't get a second drill bit, I don't think, after I broke that one. I need to grab another one. It's unfortunate that a lot of people have turned away from belief because of past experiences like that, and that's something that I can't fix. Something that God has to work in through your heart. But if you simply cut him off saying that he doesn't exist, then it's going to be a lot harder for him to reach you. That's all I'll say about that. But he can still do it. He's turned many atheists to him.
You guys seen that movie, The Usual Suspects?
I haven't.
That last line.
I've not seen it. Right. I don't know if this is the right size of drill. I'm going to use it anyway. Actually, I already drilled that, so we're good. I don't know how I did that. Maybe I did put a new drill bit in here and just misplaced it somewhere.
Raspberry is very nice. Oh, may I say, I think anti-religion things are bad.
Okay, how do we get this in there? Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I think people should be free to pursue God, even if people are pursuing things that aren't true, they should be free to do that. And I'm not in favor of forced religion.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he did not exist.
Oh, yeah.
Raspberry is there and nice. I cannot force myself, but I encourage people.
Yeah, I've heard that line. I didn't know that's where it came from. But yeah, I've heard that used in various contexts. All right, well, we're done with the framing bit.
Have the bad without the good.
Turn this down just a little bit. Didn't realize it was so loud because I had those earmuff things on. I don't know if
God exists too.
I would say God exists, period. Like before anything else existed, he existed. Otherwise, he wouldn't be God. And nothing else is required to exist. The only reason anything exists is because he chose it to be, or whatever his purposes are. But he did desire to have a way to show.
I think the hating enemy want help.
Yeah, to have a way. Well, he didn't have to, but he wanted to show his attributes, like kindness and love and mercy. And how do you show something like mercy if there's no wrong in the world? You know what I mean? So some people would take it like as far as the yin and yang type philosophy of Taoism to say, or whatever, that, good can't exist without evil and evil can't exist without good. I would disagree with that. I would say God can exist without anything else. But he chose to create beings that are capable of making their own choices, which allowed for evil to exist, because we are capable of choosing against him. But he had a master plan of redemption to cover for that, and that's where Jesus comes into the picture. All we have to do is believe in him and trust our lives to him, and all of our sins will be erased because Jesus Christ paid the penalty for our sins. Gross. Okay. But you can't just hear that stuff and believe it. It sounds like some story, But if you research for yourself, it's very easy to prove that Jesus Christ actually lived. And many of the things that he said, you can also verify historically. And then you just have to come to your own conclusions. And I don't think people can, with just reasoning alone, come to the conclusion to believe. Like I said, the Spirit of God has to seek you and reveal to your heart, have sort of a communication with your soul in order to get you to that point where you're ready to believe. And it's unfortunate because I would wish that everyone would believe, and it's frustrating that kind of thing has to happen. And the mysteries of why he calls some and not others, I don't know. But our prayer as followers are that he would call everyone, that everyone would be saved, because that's what he also desires. He says that he's not willing that any should perish, and he has compassion on all that he has made. And so it's his desire that everyone would respond to his call. All right. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to do any insulating, but I guess I'm ready to do it. That's interesting. There's some kind of split things down. Oh, I see what it is. So there's two 2x4 separated by a piece of plywood. Okay, got it. I guess I'll start. I'm not going to finish probably. It's kind of late. I might be able to go for another hour, but probably not any later than that, just due to sound constraints. I'm going to go close the door though, just so A bunch of moths don't come in here. It's getting closer to dark. There's already a bunch of moths in here. Oh. Yeah, we all have lots of questions for God, and we just have to choose whether we will submit to his superiority, because he is God, you know. So no matter how far we get in his understanding of our understanding of him, there's always going to be questions and things that we don't understand, and we just have to choose whether or not we will submit in spite of our lack of understanding. I've already made that choice for myself. There's lots of things I don't understand about him, but I try to learn more and more. You know, I don't just give up. So, but each one of us has to make that choice. Okay, so let's get started on this stuff here. Oh, I need my cutting boards. I don't know where I put them. I think they're probably still on the other side. Oh-de-do-de-do. Let's see, maybe they're downstairs. I just have some scrap boards that I use to cut on so that the razor blade doesn't like gouge into my floor or some other thing that I actually don't want it to. So I'm trying to find the one that I was using before. Oh, here they are. Ooh. Yes, you could say that I'm a priest, so if you don't like priests, you might not like me. All it takes to be a priest is a follower of Jesus Christ, and we become his ambassadors, his priests, his family. And all it means to be a priest is to share the love of God with others and, you know, try to help people understand. But we are not the go-betweens. We are not the mediators. There's only one mediator, Jesus Christ. You have direct access through him. Okay, let's see. I'll just cut as many pieces as I have time for. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to finish, but I'll do as much as I can. Yeah, you have to die. It's very unfortunate, but follow Christ, you have to die. Sounds pretty extreme, but turns out that everybody dies anyway, so you're just choosing to die earlier. All it actually means, though, is dying to yourself, to your old nature, to your sins, and allowing his spirit to breathe into you new life through Christ. So it doesn't mean you literally, physically have to die, although that too will also happen. It's more of a kind of metaphorical thing, but it's actually real. It's not just words. It's just not something we can see. Okay. Let's just cut a few of these, make sure that they're actually okay. Looks like I'm about to run out of tape. There's a stapler. Ugh. Where's my measuring tape? 15 and a half, that's good. Let's see how tall it is. 24. But let's do 24 and a half. Okay, so I need some serious space to roll this out. I feel like there's a good chance it's going to roll over the edge, so I need to try to keep it over here. We are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. Peculiar people. Actually, that's the song version. That's not the actual scripture quote. That's the part that I can remember because it's a song. I'm not very good at quoting scriptures because I have a hard time remembering them like accurately. I get the general gist of it, but memorizing things is not my strength, that's for sure. I forget stuff as soon as I memorize it. Like I'll spend a whole week or a month trying to memorize something, and then the next day I forget it. Uh-oh, money. The reason I'm associated with death isn't obligatory, but the belief I'm associated with isn't popular. Yeah, I know. You and I disagree on some things because we're not part of the same religious group, whatever you want to say. That's all right. Okay. I have friends that are Catholic. You know, but I'm not going to just condemn everyone that I disagree with. You know, I have atheist friends and all that. So we can still be friends even if we don't agree on everything. As far as I'm concerned, anyway. Some people don't like to be friends with people that they disagree with, and that's fine. You know, it's just something they have to choose. Okay. I get my mask on now that I'm opening this junk. And where did the glasses go? Do. But you asked, I don't know if you're still here, Raspberry, but you asked what my religion is. I don't really have a religion, but I guess you would say the closest thing I can describe that might sort of summarize what I believe is essentially Protestant evangelical Christianity, but I don't really go to a certain type of church, or I don't consider myself Baptist or Lutheran or Presbyterian or any of that stuff. I'm just a follower of Jesus. Some people say Christianity is not a religion, but a relationship, and I understand what they're saying with that, but it's also true that Christianity is a religion. So you can't really get around that. It checks, the boxes of what, you just as an example, you say, what are the 6 major religions, or I don't know how many there are, but you would say Islam, Christianity, Catholicism, Taoism, and Hinduism. You would list those, and Christianity would be one of those that you would list. And by that understanding, it is a religion. But the point of what they're trying to get across is that it's not about a bunch of ceremonies and things you have to do. It's about a relationship with God himself. And that is possible through Jesus Christ. Okay, 24 and a half. And without Christ, it is not possible. Ah. See where's my cutter. Just moved it unnecessarily. I cut it a little bit long because this way this is angled is a little bit odd. All right. Some of those I was forgetting to shake it out. When you shake it out, it expands to its full depth, which you want it to be. Otherwise, it doesn't insulate well. Right. I hate the stapling part. It's just something I haven't really gotten the hang of fully, and it just feels a little bit sketchy because I have to avoid getting it on my fingers, but I have to also hold the stuff in place. And it's just, with the particular kind of stapler I have, you have to hit it really hard, so if you miss at all, you're in danger of hitting your fingers. Plus, half the time it just doesn't work. So it's just annoying. Well, half is a little bit of an exaggeration. Okay, and then this is yet another defective roll of insulation. It only has the paper flange on one side, so I have to tape the other side. I had a lot of these. Yeah, well, I mean, everybody tries to come to the right conclusion, so obviously you don't intentionally believe something that's wrong. I don't think anybody tries to do that, but yeah, we all have imperfections in our understanding. Okay. Go. But I don't think we do it on purpose. Like, we think what we know is right, but it's important to just be humble about it and try to learn, more and more all the time. Oh yeah, nah, that's too bad. It's obviously in violation of scripture to have that attitude towards others. So all that really demonstrates is whoever is doing that has a wrong motivation, or they just have an anger problem. We always have to give each other grace. Some people just struggle with anger, and it's not that they want to be that way, but it's just their burden to bear. I don't struggle with anger, thankfully, but I have other struggles, Alone is enough that their understanding is correct, yeah. Or just their attitude. Some people can actually be right about things, but their way of presenting it or their attitude is so wrong that it actually is going to cause people to turn away from the truth rather than accept it. There'll be others into your thinking. Yeah, totally. 100% agree with that. Okay. So this is just a trick that I've learned from doing this, is that this tape is a good way to attach it, but it's not the standard way to do it. Normally you'd have the paper flange on both sides that folds out, but I've gotten a lot of defective rolls, and since there's no paper to staple to it, I don't really have a choice. I was for a while making my own paper flanges by stapling them to the edge of this paper and extending it out over the studs. And I think that actually would be a good way to do it if I had Tyvek, something that doesn't tear easily, but I was just using like grocery bags, and I started getting unhappy with the results on that, so now I'm just using tape, which I'm not pretending is like a great way to do it, but there's just no options really when the product is manufactured poorly. But yeah, don't necessarily do what I do here if you're watching this video for some sort of instructional purposes. I'm just kind of hacking it together as I see fit. But I think it makes sense what I'm doing. I'm doing the best I can with what I have. All right, so let's do this next one right next to it. That'd be this. It's the same 24.5. Need to measure it. Some people really like being right, and I think that's a problem. Like, they like being right in the sense that they enjoy someone else being wrong. Like, what help can you be to someone if you enjoy them being wrong? Like, it's fine to be right, and you can be right, you can be correct, you can know the truth. It's not unknowable. But why would that cause you to have a feeling of superiority or pride over others? Like, what good is that? Like, if you really care about people, you would want to take pride out of the equation so that's not a barrier to them coming to the same conclusion that you came to. Okay. It's like saying, I have something you don't have. Nah, 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 nah. It's essentially what it's like. Oh. Yeah, and once again, you can have two choices. I think both of these are appropriate. You can either completely ignore such people, which is totally appropriate, or you can realize that they too are human and in need of grace and understanding. They have their own set of issues, and you can be the adult in the room and both ignore their faults and also be gracious towards them, so you can be a good example to those kind of people. And in spite of whatever disagreements you might have, you can just not let it bother you. All right. Plus, some of those people are actually lost. They think they have the truth, and they might actually have the truth, but if they don't have Christ in their heart transforming them, then they don't have the life. They might have truth, but they don't have the life. And so they are just as much in need of God as we are. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's best to just let it go, I guess. We'll figure it out, I guess. I've never been in that scenario, so not really had to figure out how to deal with it. Hopefully, some of them actually care about you, though. Like, for example, if someone is concerned about a belief that you have or something like that, hopefully at least one of those people actually cares. If they're all just trying to prove their superiority or something like that, then I hope they just give up. Top, one bottom. That's the main reason I don't like stapling is, yeah, there's a slight possibility I could hit my finger or something, but it's more like quite likely that I'll tear the paper because it metal stapler digs into the edge of paper and just rips it very easily. I do have another roll. Yeah. Can't really force people to admit things, though. You have to kind of come to their own conclusion, hopefully through God's work. It's God's kindness is intended to lead us toward repentance. It's all right, no worries. Yeah, definitely. I would definitely put an end to it if we were name dropping, because I don't like to do that. Just general conversation is fine. Okay. I'm gonna go grab the last roll of tape. Be right back. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, live streaming presents a whole new level of challenges that real life doesn't, you know. It feels like just you and I are having a conversation right now, but nobody knows how many people are lurking. I'm on 12 different platforms. My live streams get saved eternally, essentially, on YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey, and now BitChute. And so, you know, it's just, you have to keep all of that in mind when you're live streaming and have a whole set of different concerns than you would have if you were just talking to one other person. Sometimes it's easy to forget that stuff, but I always have that in mind, just because I've been doing this so long. Let's see, where is another roll of tape? I might have taken it up there already. That sounds kind of familiar. Like I feel like I had my hands on it earlier today, but I'm not sure. Oh. Do. I'm almost sure that I grabbed it at some point today. It's not sure if I brought it up here, laid it down in some random place. If I can't find the tape, I'll probably have to end the stream or not do any more of this because I can't really go on without it. But I'll find it eventually. I just don't want to spend like a half hour searching for it. So we'll look for a few minutes. See if I can find it. There's a couple other things I could do too, aside from insulation. But I've been trying to. Oh, here it is. I've been trying to kind of have compartmentalized live streams so that each stream is a particular topic or project rather than jumping between a bunch of things. It's not necessarily wrong to do the jumping between a bunch of things. I just sort of prefer to keep them topical. Oh. Yeah, I think it's honestly my recommendation to you on those kind of things, EJ, would be to not talk about them in public. Because inevitably, I don't know if the people that would know would watch my stream, but somebody is going to know who you're talking about. And it may seem anonymous. But people are pretty smart. They figure things out. I don't know who it is, and I don't want to know who it is. But if it's somebody in the streaming world that we have, contact with, they might find out someday. So it's better to just not do it, in my opinion. Okay. Oh. But just saying in general that, some people oppose me and my ideas, that's pretty generic, It just depends on how specific you get. And I imagine you can probably figure that out for yourself, what's safe to say, and I certainly don't know anything about it. Okay. Topic closed, eh? All right. Let's see, let's put this in this way. Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't like being baited into something. I'm pretty good at keeping calm, but thankfully people don't really try that with me. But I wouldn't take the bait. I'm just not too interested in that kind of drama. I've always avoided the drama in the streaming world. It's just not interesting to me. But sometimes you're just watching a stream. Usually I'm lurking when it happens and just some drama erupts. You're just like, oh man. It does. To be honest, it makes for interesting content because, because there are people that you care about, friends that you've made on different platforms, so you sort of want to see what's going on, but try not to get caught up in it. Okay, here we go. Next. Same 14.5. by 36.5. Oh. Man, my back has been bothering me the last couple days. I need to get back into some exercise and stretches and stuff. Like everybody else, I'm not very good at being consistent with that kind of stuff. I shouldn't say everybody else, but many people. I think probably just about everybody struggles with motivation. Some people have done better to overcome it. Health is not my biggest concern. I don't pursue health with a lot of motivation most of the time. Just being honest. Okay, where's that other board? Here it is. I do like to hike though. I think that's kind of my saving grace, the thing that keeps me from completely becoming crippled or terrible health is that I like to hike. I also like to ride my bike sometimes, but I don't actually ever sit down and like do any kind of exercises. I just go out and hike and bike sometimes. I know, sit down and do an exercise sounds kind of like an oxymoron, but I think you know what I mean. Okay, in other words, set aside time to do specific exercises, like lifting weights or stretches or any of that. I do like body weight exercises though. I think I might install my pull-up thing on the edge of this loft. I'll see if I can anyway. I do enjoy doing those from time to time. And this would be a good place to set that up. Where's my marker? Oh. There it is. There. Should be good. Okay. Good thing about my stream though is that not very many people watch it, so you're probably safe in that former conversational piece, but just to be safe, I don't recommend talking about situations that have happened with other people, especially in the streaming world, because they can catch ear of it and increase the drama that you're trying to get away from. Okay. Where is my knife? Yeah, I don't like gossip anyway. Not to say that you were or anything, but I prefer to avoid it. Ugh. The odds were with me last time. Something similar. So I don't really get into arguments or debates, so there's never really a a winner or a loser in my conversations. At least I try to avoid that kind of stuff. Sometimes people just want to go there, so you don't really have a choice except to walk away. Way back when viewer count was visible to chatters. Oh yeah. Speaking of such things, they're making a bunch of changes on Kick recently. Some of them I've actually noticed without even reading any feature lists. Kind of cool that they're finally working on it again. When they first launched the site, I felt like they were working on it pretty consistently, and then like a year or so went by where they seemed to not make any changes. Looks like they're back into working on it. It's cool. Hate these staplers. So hard to hit it in the right place. Okay, so for example, if you go to the home page, it's very obvious. The layout is completely changed. The wheel or the carousel at the top is completely changed. I don't know if it's for the better or not, but it's changed. I guess it looks kind of cool or different, I guess. The thing that I actually care about is they're finally fixing the emote stuff, which has been buggy since the very beginning. You've always had to click in the box, then click on an emote, otherwise it doesn't send the emote to the box sometimes. You have to do that like 2 or 3 times sometimes. And then you always have to click chat twice to push the emotes through, and now it's just one push. They also changed the way the emotes scroll. They're now all in the same scroll window, and it just jumps to hyperlinks to the various sections. So stuff like that. But yeah, I haven't actually read a list of features that they've changed. I just noticed those. I'm sure there's other changes. But I like that emote change because I was super annoyed at that for the whole time I've been using Kick. It's way better. Yeah, totally. The delete message thing is trash on Kick. I don't know if they've fixed that yet, but even when you delete messages, they don't even go away. Just puts a line through them or grays them out. In some cases, if you refresh the app, all of the deleted messages reappear. It's very stupid. Oh, really? That's crazy. Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit out of it with all the stuff. I used to care about all the real detailed. There was a point where I think I knew more about DLive than most people. I was always giving people tutorials and kind of acting like a mod, a guardian without being a guardian. I just don't care anymore, to be honest. I'm more of a multi-platform guy, and I'm not really concerned about singing the praises of any particular platform because they're all kind of messed up. So just do my thing in a corner of the internet where nobody finds me. It's kind of amazing. I don't even try to hide. I'm literally on 12 platforms. You could say I'm trying to be found, but it doesn't matter what I do, I'm never found. And that's fine. I don't really want a big channel anyway. Okay, there we go. Let's do some of these gaps. Probably don't have any pieces for those to cut them. I doubt this is big enough, but I'll check. No. I might be able to use this for the corners though. I'll just keep working on the bigger sections for now. Tape measure. Like a surgeon. Tape measure. Scalpel. Except there's no nurse to help me. Oh no! I think this is also standard width. We'll check. Yep. All right, 30 inches. Sometimes, sadly, the best thing to do to help others is to pray for them. And I say sadly because we want to actually interact with somebody to have, like, be a voice into their life or help them somehow. But sometimes people just cannot be reached by our efforts, and so you have to just let it go and put them in God's hands and just pray about the situation. Yeah, that's part of the reason I've always streamed late at night too, but I don't do that on purpose. It's more, I don't do that on purpose to avoid being seen. It's more that that's just my kind of prime time. Night owl. I function best at night, so. It's hard to be consistent in prayer, though, at least for me. Like, I'm pretty good at praying about things when somebody mentions them, but like following up and like praying continually for people, I don't pretend to be super good at that. I have to be reminded sometimes. Yeah. Well, but prayer shouldn't be done in a public way, like, oh, help ZJ, she's totally lost and confused, like on a live stream or something. Prayer should be something between you and the Lord, not something used as a platform to get your message across in some self-righteous way. The only reason I pray publicly on my streams is because I want to let it be known, like when I'm about to read the Bible, that we're putting the whole stream in God's hands and it's not about me and all that stuff. I don't like doing it. Like, part of the reason I started doing the prayers at the beginning when I don't show my face yet is it's not about me. I don't want people to be looking at me while I'm praying. And honestly, I don't like doing it, but I feel like it's kind of important to do. But yeah, I don't like doing public prayers. there. There. Stapler. Not a bad idea, actually. No, it would have to be, a lot of stuff would have to be done to it to make it suitable for that. No, but some people might actually sleep up here. I designed it to be long enough for a bed to go this way. Technically, I think a twin can go this way, but the other side's actually even bigger than this one, and you can fit like a queen and a single on there. But it'll be more like, probably there'll be one mattress out here that might get used once a year, kind of a thing, if we have a bunch of family over or something like that. One or two beds max, and just used on extremely rare occasions. So I might even sleep out here occasionally just for fun, just to get a different scene, a different feel. Kind of been wanting to try it. I haven't done it yet, but it's kind of so full of dirty stuff right now, like all the insulation dust, and once it's all done, then I'll vacuum it out and it'll feel a little better in that sense. But it's fun though. I like it out here. I like it. Just gives you that childhood feeling of being in an adventurous place like a fort or whatever. Just I don't think old people would like it. The ceilings are very low. I mean, I'm an old person and I like it, but I'm kind of a kid at heart, so. And there's a lot of people like that. I'm not so unique in that. It's so hard. Get that angle in here. Yeah, I didn't cut that very well. All right, I need to get a little strip to go in there. That's pretty bad there. We'll admit it. Somewhere I had some scissors, which is the easiest way to cut strips of things. I don't know if I brought them up here. Probably not. I don't know how I messed that up so bad. I stayed at a couple B&Bs over the years. I really enjoyed that experience, but I don't travel very much, so and I don't have money to stay at places. But it's fun. It's fun if you can do it. Not on purpose, but if the things I'm doing happen to be your style, then I guess there's not much I can do about it. But I'm not a ASMR kind of streamer. All right. Okay, so I need a strip. So I need the scissors. I think they're still downstairs. You never have? Yeah. One, I don't know if I've ever, I think the only time I did the only time I've actually been at a B&B that was an Airbnb was with a friend, and he paid for it and stuff, and I was just with him. That was quite a number of years ago. And then before that, I went to a couple bed and breakfasts, probably before Airbnb was a thing, in Canada, and that was really fun. I've been on so few traveling trips, though. It's pretty rare. And yeah, I've gone on business trips with my dad. And we stay at like the cheapest junk hotel we can find, pretty much. So that's not quite the same. Okay, no scissors up here. I don't know how much longer to go anyway. It's getting kind of at that time. I probably should end the stream pretty soon. Unless I have to go to the bathroom, so maybe I will. Maybe I'll end the stream and just obviously not going to finish this tonight. And it's at that time where I feel like I shouldn't be banging with the stapler. It's pretty loud, so yeah, it's probably about time. It's 8 o'clock, which is sort of my target time. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. So thanks guys or gals, I should say. Anybody lurking might be a guy, who knows. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, well, that's the determining factor. ZJ's earbuds are going out. It's time for me to end my stream. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out, keeping me company. Yeah, no problem. Later. This will be the closest thing to ASMR anybody gets, is just me still walking around and stuff, because it takes me a while to get back to my computer to end the stream. Thanks, you too. Wow, it's dark outside. Me without my flashlight. Super dark.
Raspberries, they're nice. Oh, I am sorry. Sorry if I am being rude.
Nope, not being rude. All right, I'm almost there. I'll see you guys later.